coronavirus relief package, but they are up against that December 11th deadline. Let's bring in Jessica Smith, who's tracking the very latest on that front. And Jess, we did hear from House Speaker Nancy Pelosi saying that she is hopeful of getting some kind of deal done here, but it feels like we've heard this before. Where do things stand right now?
Well, the lawmakers who are involved in crafting that $908 billion bipartisan proposal are getting ready to meet at 12:15 and then again at 5:30. We do expect to get a more detailed section by section outline of their plan at some point this afternoon. But that outline is not expected to have any of the details on state and local aid and liability protections. Those have been the two real sticking point throughout these negotiations over the past few months and over the past week as this bipartisan group tries to get this done. Senator Mitt Romney talked to reporters just a few minutes ago, and he said there has actually been a lot of progress made on those two issues. He says on liability protections, there was some progress made by a proposal last night. They're still trying to hammer that out. And then he said they've also been making some headway on state and local aid, but they still need to work out some issues around distribution of that aid. He also said again that no stimulus checks are in this package as it stands right now. We have heard from the progressive wing of the Democratic Party saying that they'd like to see those stimulus checks in this proposal and that it would be difficult for them to support a bill that doesn't have those checks in it. We've also heard from Senator Josh Hawley, who is a Republican, who told President Trump to veto any package that did not have stimulus checks. Speaker Pelosi also just in the past few minutes said she'd like to see that, but it's really up to the president at this point. Of course, it also comes down to what Majority Leader Mitch McConnell will put on the floor. At this point, he's still trying to push his targeted measure, and he and Minority Leader Chuck Schumer are blaming each other for not getting anything done. Let's watch.
Drop the all or nothing tactics, drop the hostage taking, and make law in the many places where we have common ground. That's what the country is counting on. That's how we can do right by the American people before Christmas. So let's get it done.
The Republican leader never mentions those poison pills in his speeches to this chamber, where he excoriates Democrats for refusing to pass, quote, bipartisan legislation that everyone agrees on. But bipartisan does not mean Democrats must agree to whatever the Republican leader wants or whatever issues he picks.
As you mentioned, Akiko, another big issue going on right now is the bill to keep the government open. They need to do that by December 11th. Right now, the plan is to vote on a short-term spending bill that would just extend things for a week, giving lawmakers more time to come up with a long-term spending package and a coronavirus relief package, which they hope could be combined into one. But again, we have to see how these negotiations play out over the next few days.
Okay, the clock's certainly ticking on that one. Jessica Smith, thanks so much for that.